Hello, Year 9, and welcome to another week of English lessons. This is our penultimate week, so it's the second last week of term now. So we're kind of heading towards the summer holidays. I hope everybody is well. This is Mr. McGettigan, and we are going to continue this week looking at the death penalty. We're going to be looking at some specific cases of death sentences, and you guys are going to be doing a lot of thinking and a little bit of writing about the death penalty using these specific cases. First thing I'd like you to do this lesson is there are four methods of administering the death penalty. Okay, we have lethal injection, which is when you are injected with a poison and that kills you. We will do a little bit. You'll learn a little bit of something on the lethal injection this lesson. There's hanging, where you are hung from a gallows with a noose around your neck and it breaks your neck. The electric chair, which fairly self-explanatory. It sends electricity through your body until you're dead. And firing squad, which again is fairly self-explanatory. A group of people shoot you and you die. Okay. Your task is which of the above methods is not used in the United States as a form of capital punishment? Which is not used in the United States as a form of capital punishment? I'm not going to tell you what the answer is. I want you to have a look at those, have a think about which ones you think are not currently used in the US as a form of capital punishment. Have a think about that, make your decision. Have a think also about why have you made that decision. If you think, oh, what, it might be this, it might be that, have a think, well, why do you think that? Okay, and what we're trying to get you to do in this unit, guys, is be critical in your thinking. And it is actually a branch of study called critical thinking. We need to start to think about what do I think and why do I think that? Okay, and being able to argue your case is a big point of critical thinking. And these skills don't just come to you, they have to be practiced. Just like if you're doing any kind of skill, you have to practice it to help develop it. All right? Okay. So, in today's lesson, we are going to be looking at the death penalty in the United States. We're going to be looking at trying to improve our understanding of the use of lethal injection, and you guys are going to be watching a video, making some notes on the key points there. And you're going to learn about Arkansas death row inmates, which is going to be a key focus for the unit. Okay, so we're going to be looking at some case studies there. Okay, so there is a video which is attached to Show My Homework that I would like you to watch. There is a YouTube clip here on the third slide of the PowerPoint also, which is a link to the YouTube clip. And so you can watch the video clip, or you can click on YouTube and watch it there. It's entirely up to you. I would like you to watch this video, okay, and just make a few notes on how lethal injection works. Now, I am going to say to you that the material this video contains material that some people might find upsetting. Okay, now there isn't any graphic material. It's all very basic. It's very medical language that's used, but there are descriptions of what the lethal injection chemicals that are put into the body for the lethal injection sentence. There are descriptions of what they do to the body. Okay, so that's a bit of a prior warning. As you're watching this, just make a few notes on how lethal injection works. You can pause this video and you can watch that video now, please. Okay, so you should have watched this video it's from a BBC Three documentary series, and hopefully you've got some notes, a little bit, gained a little bit of understanding about the lethal injection process and what goes into that. Okay. Our first question, which was which of these is not used in the United States, I'm afraid was a bit of a trick question. I'm sorry to have tricked you, Year 9. It's not something that I do lightly. But actually the answer is all of these are used. Lethal injection is used. Hanging is still used in the United States. The electric chair is still used. And firing squads are still legally used in the United States. They have not been taken away from that. I don't think they're used very often. Certainly hanging and firing squad are not used very often, but they are not illegal. They are still in legal use in the United States. And for me, I think that that's a little bit shocking. Certainly the hanging and the firing squad, for me, certainly, that it seems like quite a cruel way of dying, and with lots of possibilities for mistakes to be made and things like that. Okay, so the average time spent on death row is 15 years. So that is between being sentenced to death. So they've committed the crime, they've been found guilty, they've been sentenced to death, and then the time between that time and the sentence being carried out is 15 years. Okay, I would like you to answer these two questions in your exercise books, please, Year 9. Why do you think this is? And what factors should be considered when setting an execution date? So the second question, what factors do you think should be considered? You need to think about what should the judges and the people working within the legal system, what should they think about? What should they consider when they're setting the date for that person? Should it be really quick? Should it be over very, very quickly? And why? Or should there be a long time between those two dates, between the sentencing and the execution? What factors should be considered when you set an execution date? Okay, pause this video and you can answer these questions in your exercise books now, please. Okay, so we are now going to move on. We're going to do a little bit of reading. We're going to do a little bit of thinking. Okay. The first thing that we're going to be thinking about is Arkansas. Okay. I know we're going to be looking at the death penalty in Arkansas. Now that word Arkansas looks like Arkansas, but actually it's pronounced Arkansas. And it's quite a strange situation, so I'm going to give you a little bit of information. Okay, the death penalty was reinstated in the state of Arkansas in 1976. So it was brought back in 1976. Since then, 31 executions have taken place. 31 executions at that time. But between 2005 and 2017, no executions took place. Okay. During April 2017, the state's stock of one of the drugs is due to expire. Okay, or was due to expire. So what that means is that they were going to run out of the drugs that they need, one of the drugs that they need to carry out the lethal injection. Okay. As a result, 8 executions were scheduled to take place over 10 days. So they were trying to rush through 8 executions over 10 days. considering that since 1976 only 31 executions have taken place. That seems a lot. Okay, this particular instance has drawn criticism, with some sections of the press calling it mass murder and killing all of those inmates because of the drug, just because the drug is due to expire. Okay, so there is a Word document that I would like you to open on the Show My Homework assignment, and I would like you, and that is a document that gives profiles of the men who were set to be executed, and it looks something like this. Okay. It gives something like, it looks something like this. Okay, and you can read that document. You can read that document on the Word document that's attached to Show My Homework. I would like you to read through them and write down your answers to these questions. Do any of them appear to be particular good or bad candidates for execution? Okay. Pick out the key details of each of the cases and write them down. And then pay close attention in particular to Lidl Lee and Stacey Johnson. We're going to be doing some more work on these two as we go through. Okay, so read through the profiles. Choose if you think any of them appear to be particularly good or bad candidates for execution, and pick out the key details of each case and write them down. So these are the 8 men that it was decided in Arkansas in 2017 that would be killed over 10 days, okay, because of that expiry of the drug. Okay, that's all from me now. What I would like you to do is go through that work and read through those profiles, and for each of those cases write down the key information. Okay, I hope you are all well and staying safe, Year 9, and that you're keeping up with the work that we are doing during lockdown. Hopefully we will get to see you very, very soon. Goodbye now.